What is up, Flockers? That is my fellow Lockers and aspiring Lockers. In today's video, I'm just giving y'all a simple lock update, where my hair's at, what I've been, things I've been doing with my hair lately, just to catch you up. So if you're interested in that, then stick around. I have already surpassed the 2.5 year mark. I believe, yeah, in May, it'll be 3 years that I've been on this lock journey. The locks are locking, they are growing. Excuse the lopsidedness of the style. Should have had an extra row on this side pulled up in there, but that's all right because I had these sides also not flat twisted. What's it called? Basket weaved back and then into a ponytail. So it looked all right. So don't come judging. Just quickly wanted to update y'all on my hair. It is growing, and some of the cool things that I really like about my locks and just as they're maturing, the things that are changing. One of the biggest changes, and I've mentioned it in previous videos, but literally the more they mature, the more that this holds true, is just how much lack of marrying there is. In the very beginning of my journey, probably through a good year and a half, my locks would marry severely at the root to the point where I was having to pop them apart, snap them. I could only go for so many weeks without doing a retie, out of just sheer necessity, because my locks, like I said, at the roots were merging. Thankfully, at 2.5 years into this journey, I don't have any merging of my locks at the roots at all. Even, what am I, 7.5 weeks in, so I've got 7.5 weeks of new growth, but my locks at the bed, the root bed, they're not sticking together. I'm not having to go through, I'm not having to pop in. I'm not saying that this is going to be everyone's experience, so please don't hear me saying that once you hit 3 years or 2.5 years that you won't have this problem anymore, because you may still have it throughout your entire lock journey. This is just something that I've noticed with mine that I'm no longer dealing with. Yeah, I no longer have to deal with my locks marrying at the roots, not having to pop them. Even after I wash my hair, it is no longer an issue for me. Maybe at some point it will become an issue again, but right now it's not. Something else that I've noticed is that because they're not marrying at the root, even when my hair is 7.5, almost 8 weeks time, from the time that I had to retie, I can run my fingers through my hair down to the root. Well, maybe I shouldn't go down to the root because it can get stuck, but my nails, I keep them short, so there's nothing getting snagged, which is nice. But yeah, I'm able to run my fingers through my hair and we're not snagging on anything. It's not causing any problems. I feel like there are still some that bud in different areas because I still have braid pattern that is being covered up over time, but I don't have any major budding like I did in the first 2 years as my locks were maturing. There's some, that'll have a little bud on the end or in the middle or up at the top, but it's very minimal. I feel like my frizz is pretty minimal. My locks were doing all their wilding out the first 2 years of the lock journey, and now they're just in a resting phase, I feel like, where they're just calm, content. They've done the expanding that they want to do, and they've come back down and condensed to where they want to live their life and mature. So I appreciate that from them, that they're not constantly switching up and doing the most anymore. Something else that I just recently did, like maybe a week or two ago, was I combed out one of my locks. One of the ones that, I don't know, for whatever reason, but on both sides, when I got around my ear area, made at least one of the locks thicker, significantly thicker than the rest. All over my head I have different size locks, but for whatever reason, when I got close to the ear area, I don't know if I got lazy or what, but I just made them thicker. And so from the beginning of my journey, I've always wanted to split it in two, but just never did. So now, almost 3 years in, I was just curious, and I was like, I wonder if I can comb it out, because interlocks are a different beast than when you're just retwisting. And then interlocks on top of braid locks, because I started my hair with braids, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to comb them out. But I am here to tell you that you most definitely can comb out braid locks. You can most definitely comb out mature Microlocs that have been maintained with interlocking. And so that's what this is. These two right here, and you can tell because there's spring, whereas the rest of my hair, there's no give. These locks have matured to a point where they're not, except for the give that they have at the root because that's new growth, but the lock itself is solid. There's no bending or springy action, whereas these, you know, I got that coil action going on. And I don't know how well it will come off on camera, but I just 2-stranded twisted these. And so there is a 2-strand twist pattern. But yeah, I will probably make a separate video showing how I combed it out, but I did not do the traditional lather on a bunch of conditioner and make it super soft and water. I just went in dry with a nail tool, actually, something that you use to clean your nails and maintain your nails. I use one of those really sharp tools, and I just went through and I picked it out. And I honestly can say that I don't feel like I lost any more hair doing it dry than if I had done it with conditioner from the times that I've combed out my locks on other lock sets in the past. So like I said, I'll make a separate video about that, just showing you how I did it and my experience with that. But that's something new with my locks as well. Everything else is pretty much the same. Like I said, they are growing. They're pretty standard. Yeah. They're in a, like I said, just a maintenance mode where they just, or not a maintenance mode, but a still mode for so long. For about 1.5 years, they were constantly changing, and there were so many new things about them. And yeah, right now they're just kind of steadily going along, which is awesome for me because I don't have to think about them much. There's not much happening with them, but that's why I don't update as much as I used to, because there's not as much going on as there was in the past. If you found this video helpful and insightful, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button so I know the type of videos you're enjoying, and also hit the subscribe button so that you can join the flock. And before you go anywhere, check out some of the other videos that have popped up on the screen. I'll see you later.